Hello everybody, it's me, it's Undead Viking. I'm coming to you with another video review of a board game. Somebody mentioned or sent me an email with my last review of Briefcase. How come my shelves look different? It's because when I had to work and my wife had the day off, she decided she was going to rearrange my game room. So it took me a while to find some stuff that I was looking for, but regardless, anyway. I'm here to review a game that just recently got re-released after it was out of print for a while. And it is a game that is very near and dear to my heart because I played it a lot when I was younger. This is the new version. This is Dungeon. It is from, obviously, Wizards of the Coast because they own the D&D license. And this was a game that I played a lot of when I was very, very young. And I'm going to show you my old beaten up copy that I fairly recently rescued from my mother's gaming cupboard. Let's make sure I don't steal anything. But yeah, there's my old version of Dungeon. You can see it's all beat to heck, and I actually made a geek list I put it on Board Game Geek a while back that was about all the crazy little in-game new monsters that I made up because apparently the monsters that were included in the game just weren't interesting enough for me. So if you want to track that down, it's probably good for a chuckle or two. But anyway, because of the fact that I played this version of Dungeon when I was very young, my mom bought it for me. I believe I was in first grade, I think. And because the game is, obviously it's kind of a very simplified dungeon crawl, and it appeals to younger gamers, and it really, really appealed to me when I was young, and so I'm kind of the mind to say that it'd be pretty cool if at this point I invite a younger gamer to join me right now, if you could. Get over here. And I'm going to invite my recent gaming partner, my daughter Rylan, to join us in the video. Hello, Rylan. Anyway, Rylan and I have played the new Dungeon, which is really, really cool because, it's the bridging the gap thing. And we're not going to say what we think of the game just yet, are we, Rylan? But we are going to say, what do you think of this box? What do you think of it?
Awesome.
Awesome. What do you like about it? What do you like about What do you like about the picture?
The dragon.
The dragon? What about the guy that's getting breathed? You don't like him? He's getting, fire breathed on him. Do you think he's okay?
Yeah, because he has a shield.
Because he has a shield? Oh, hopefully he's okay. So, Rylan and I have played this, and, we've enjoyed it, right? And then Rylan's going to tell you exactly why she thinks the game is pretty cool after I show you how to play the game. All right? You ready for this? All right, cool. All right, we'll see you guys back here in just a little bit. All right, this is the board for the new edition of Dungeon. For those of you who played the old edition of Dungeon and maybe even have their board, you'll find that this is fairly accurate and fairly representative of the board. I think it's almost dead on, actually. Obviously, they've changed some of the names of some of the rooms. In the other one, they didn't have rooms like guard room or kitchen or armory. I forget what they are. I just looked at the board too, and I offhandedly I can't remember exactly what those were. But for the most part, this is pretty much the exact same board that you probably played and enjoyed if you owned the original version. The game is very straightforward. You have these little stands for your heroes. This purple is a fighter, the female. That's one my daughter likes to play. Of course, I just dropped the stand. Now, you could obviously, if you have access to miniatures and what have you, you could just like I have lots of D&D miniatures. You could just replace those and actually use some things that were more indicative, but and we do when we play. But I just wanted, I'm going to show you the ones that actually come with the game. You determine who's ever first, however you're going to do it. Rylan always goes first when we play, just because she just goes first. and you take turns moving on the board. I don't remember exactly what the old rules. I thought we rolled the dice, and you rolled one die. That's how many you got to move. But in this version of the game, you actually just move a flat 5 spaces. So you take your character and you just 1, 3, 4, 5, and that's what you would move. And movement is very straightforward. Every one of these little flagstones is a space. And if you can make it into a room, you will then encounter a monster. You also will encounter monsters in these locations, the ones with little names on them: guard room, kitchen, armory, so on and so forth. And if you, the big difference between that and a room is that in the rooms you get treasure, whereas you don't get anything for finding anything in there. But on your turn, you decide where you're going to move. So, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go in that room. You've entered the room. You know that this is the yellow level 1. And so I have the cards up here, but you draw a level 1 monster, and we turn it over, and we see it's a dire rat. All right, so you look, and this is the purple fighter. So you look at the card, you find purple, and it says 3. So you need to roll a 3 or better to defeat the rat. So you roll 2 dice. I kill the evil dire rat, and because I was in a room, I get a treasure. So I draw a level 1 treasure, turn it over, and it is a sack of gold worth 1,000. And so I keep that, and I keep that hidden so nobody can see it, so they don't know how much money I have, because this is a race to see who can get the most treasure the fastest. If you get to the number that you need, clerics and rogues need 10,000 gold pieces worth of stuff. The fighters need 20,000 gold pieces worth of stuff, and wizards, being like technically the most powerful characters in the game, need 30,000 gold pieces worth of stuff. Once you have enough gold pieces worth of treasure, you then have to make it back to the Great Hall. And if you make it back to the Great Hall with enough money, then you win the game. There's really no way you can actually do anything to stop other players from what they're doing. You just basically, it's a race, and you just gotta hope that you get luckier when you're drawing your monsters and defeating them. And also you gotta hope that you get good treasure. Now, there's some things on the board I should point out. Oh, and I should point out as well that since I defeated the dire rat in that room, you take one of these tokens, it's a little gravestone there, and you put that in the room, meaning that nobody else can go in that room and fight a monster now. There's no monsters in that room. In these areas where you run the monsters, you have to populate those spots with 3 gravestones, meaning you have to kill 3 monsters in that room before you can pass through those spots without having to stop and fight a monster. And that, and as I said, you don't get any treasure in those locations, so they're kind of a way to block people from being able to just run rampant and just get lots of treasure quick, because you have to stop in that spot to fight. Now, on the board, you can see that there's these brown doors, and those you just walk through. There are doors that are white, and hopefully you can see it. There's one there. There's one here. There's one there. You see them lots of places. Those are secret doors. You can attempt to go through the secret door, but you have to find it. And you find it by rolling a 5 or a 6 on a die, which it wouldn't succeed. But if I went on my turn, and I went 1, 2, 3, I'm going to try to get through the secret door. I roll the die. Ooh, I found it. I can go through. 3, 4, 5. I made it through the secret door. Now, if I don't succeed, my turn ends right there. It should be noted that the rogues, because they're sneaky and they can find stuff, they find them on a 3, 4, 5, or 6. So that's one bonus to being the rogue, meaning that you can find those locations quicker and faster. Wizards, like I said, are the most powerful because they get access to spells. They have a lightning bolt spell, a fireball spell, and a teleport spell. I mean, these are all pretty straightforward as far as what they do. The neat thing about fireballs and lightning bolts is that the wizard can stop outside of a room and shoot the fireball or lightning bolt into the room to affect the monster that's in there. basically so they can't get affected if they aren't able to kill the monster. At the beginning of the game, each wizard, this is really weird, it's kind of lucky, they roll 1 die, and they add 6 to that number, and that's how many spells they start with. Once they're gone, they're gone. But if you ever come back to the Great Hall and spend an entire turn in the Great Hall, you can take 1 spell from either any of the decks or from the discard pile. Usually, if you're a wizard, you use a teleport spell to take you down low in the dungeon, so you can fight tougher monsters but get better treasure because you need the 30,000 gold. And then you use a teleport spell, obviously, to get back too. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you do not kill the monster that you're fighting, let's, just say we have somebody, let's just put this fighter down a level 5 area like that. And they fought, like here, there's a vampire. And, notice there's an 8 or better. So, let's see if I get lucky. Oh, well, I didn't get lucky at all. So, you fail to kill the vampire. Well, then the vampire gets to fight back. And there's rules of how it works, everything on the side here. But when the monster fights back, the monster gets to roll 2 dice. And I got an 8. And if you look at 8, it says you're wounded. You drop one random treasure. And you have to retreat 1 space, so you'd have to go back 1. And then you lose a turn. Meaning that you put one of these markers, a little hourglass, by your character, meaning you've lost that turn, and you like randomly select a treasure. So let's say, like, this is the treasure. I lost a 7,000 gold piece of silver necklace. That's not good at all. You put that below the monster like so, and then you place this over here. There's a track 1 through 12. You place that right there, meaning that's number 1, and you take this little thing, it says number 1, and you place that in that location, meaning that if somebody wants to go there, they know there's a vampire there. And if you manage to kill that vampire, next you would not only get the treasure that he had taken from when he defeated the hero, but you'd also get another treasure, which, so they'd be really, really worth your while to, go and kill that vampire. You can get killed in the game. This isn't but you don't get eliminated. If you get killed, by the monster rolling double 6s, you immediately then drop all your treasure in that room, and then you pick a new character to take. And if that happens, I'd highly suggest taking the wizard and teleporting back there as soon as possible so that you can get your stuff. Other than that, let me find it. There are some magic items you can get in the game. Like, you get this that allows you, the secret door card. Just allows you to find secret doors wherever. And also, there are these magic swords, and they're different for each level. This one, if you notice it says that you place this face up in front of you, and you roll 2 dice. And depending on what you roll, that's how good the sword is. So, you roll 2 dice, a 9, you look, so it's a +1, and you get this little marker that says +1 on this side, +2 on that side, and you just put that on the magic sword, and so you have a +1 magic sword. And obviously, just as you can probably guess, you add 1 to your die rolls whenever you use that magic sword in combat. Wizards, curiously enough, cannot use the sword, obviously, because, they're wizards and they just don't know how to use it. But, see, here's a level 6 treasure magic sword. You can see if you find that, 7 through 12 makes it a +2. And you'll also find things like, there's a couple of the magic items I was just going to show you real quick. Things like this, like the ESP medallion. You can check the monster card before fighting, so you can see whether or not it's something you want to run into and fight, and things like that. There's also a crystal ball you can get that allows you to look at both the treasure and the monster that's perhaps in a room, and you get to decide whether or not it's something you want to fight as well. But that's how you play the game. Run around, fight monsters, take their treasure, and then race back to the hall. And the first one who gets back there with all the gold, enough gold to let them win, wins the game. And it's a little simplistic, but it's exactly how I remember it when I was a little kid, and I remember playing this game tens upon tens, if not hundreds of times with my friends. So guys like if Joe Giefer out there or David Broughton are watching this, I remember playing this game with you a great deal. So, well, that's that. Let me and my daughter tell you exactly what we think of the new version of Dungeon. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching us. Watch me show you how to play the game Dungeon. All right. As you probably noticed as I was explaining the rules, the game isn't too complex. Rylan, how old are you?
5.
And do you think you know how to play the game pretty well? Yeah, she took to it really, really easily. I mean, it's, dice rolling and counting spaces and things like that. And then it's actually, do you think it helps you learn how to count and learn how to do math and stuff? Yeah? As far as, like, when you roll the dice and you got to count the numbers, right? And add them together. Do you like doing that? Can you talk? Okay, well, let's find out. Rylan, what did you like about the game? Talk to them, not me.
Fighting the monsters.
Well, okay, what's your favorite monster to fight?
The big ones.
The big ones, like the dragon and like the giant worm?
Yeah.
And which character do you like playing? The girl with the sword? Or the girl that casts spells? Say it down loud.
The girl that casts spells.
Which spells do you like? The fireball or the lightning bolt?
The fireball.
The fireball. I'm a big fan of the fireball too. I think it's pretty cool. What didn't you like about the game?
I got my treasure stolen.
You got your treasure stolen. Who stole your treasures? Was it the troll?
Yes.
The troll bonked you on the head and took some treasures. Who won the last time we played? Tell them, not me. I know.
Me.
You won. You won by 1 space. You got back with your goal by 1 space, didn't you? It was a very hard-fought victory for Rylan. She made it back to the beginning with just the nick of time. I guess if I had to say my thoughts in the game, it's pretty much a pretty good port from the old one. I've definitely outgrown it, I guess, so to speak. I mean, if you are going to be playing this with a bunch of older people, they're probably not going to enjoy it too much except for the nostalgia factor. However, I greatly enjoy playing it with my daughter, and when your brother Caleb is a little bit older, I'm pretty sure we'll enjoy the heck out of playing it then too. Did you have any other thoughts on the game you wanted to tell the people out there? Tell them, not me. Anything else about it that you thought was cool? Oh, you got the what?
I got to have the magic sword.
You got to have the magic sword, and that helped you a lot, didn't it, the last time we played? She got a lot of really, really lucky rolls that were just missing by 1, and she was able to use her magic sword, and that helped her out. And then, what about the pictures and the art? Do you like it? As far as that goes? I mean, is there any, like on the board? Let me see if I can get this out, and you can point to it. Well, yeah, I mean, was there anything on the board itself that you really liked, Rylan? I mean, was there like any pictures or anything? I mean, it's kind of, pretty normal looking, but, I mean, what did you like about this when you're playing on the board?
When I got to go in the purple rooms instead of the yellow ones.
Yeah, because the purple rooms had better treasure, right? That helped you win.
Yeah.
I guess, did you ever feel like you didn't know what was going on or that you couldn't understand it?
Yeah, I did. Kind of did understand some things.
Like, which parts were tough for you to get?
Like, that one of the magic sword part when it had to help me.
When you had to roll to see how good the magic sword was?
Yeah.
And then how much it would help you?
Yeah, that was really tricky.
No, it was tricky. But, she's only 5, and they say the game is for 8 or older. But I think you did a really good job. And by the end, since you beat me, I mean, you couldn't have been doing too bad, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, Dungeon definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Do you give it a thumbs up? Thumbs up from Rylan as well. I appreciate you taking the time to watch me and my daughter do this review. This was a very special review for me to do, and I greatly enjoyed being able to have my My special little kid helping me out here. Do you have anything you wanted to say before we're done?
No.
You don't know? Nothing. Okay, well then let's just say goodbye. Can you say goodbye to everybody? Say goodbye.
Bye.
All right. You guys out there watching this, you have yourself an awesome day. See you later.